Hey everybody, it's me, Remy, the comic book poser. I'm here today to welcome you to Enter the Poserverse. It's Monday, so you know what that means. Not just, it's fine. But, you'll see what the top 5-ish books are from last week's new comic book day that I really think you should check out on this week's new comic book day if you missed them. So to see what makes the list, y'all check it out after this.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright, again, a couple of Monday announcements. Number one, you might notice that the Poserverse is slowly backing out of the auction game. So I want to definitely say thank you to AMKM, to Lady Vetica, Helvetica, the dulcet tones of the Poserverse auctions the last couple of weeks, to J1, to Jelly, to Edwin, to Tate, to fucking I could go on to 30 different fingers of everybody who showed up the last month in terms of people who've helped the Monday, Wednesday, Friday auction vibe keep alive. I know I was not able to show up on Friday because, my kids and me by myself because my wife is still not back from LA. But they're growing in their own different direction. They are someone who does a collective that I still love and support. So you all should definitely check out Madhouse Comics and Collectibles, who are listed in the description below, because they'll start posting auctions, sooner rather than later. Number two, that's going to lead to a little bit of programming change in terms of things that are happening live throughout the week on the Poserverse. Number one, Shop Talk's still not going away on Thursdays. Number two, I'm going to try and bring back my Thursday night auction on Whatnot. So pay attention to tomorrow's video where you'll see me A, in different clothes, but B, I'll have more of an idea of what I might look like on Thursday in terms of when I'll host a Whatnot auction. And then number three, if you notice that I get a little distracted tonight, or you just kind of see me point at my ear and laugh, it's because we are starting our weekly Poserverse movie nights on Discord, where the folks who voted in the Discord decided to go with the MCU in chronological order. So right now we're watching and mocking and enjoying and embracing Captain America. We'll see if we end up watching Captain Marvel tonight. You won't know that, but I'll correct it on Tuesday. But we just kind of hang, and I'll give away themed things in the direction of whatever MCU movie we see playing out that night. So join the Discord. The link is in the description below, and come win some free shit. So without any further ado, let's talk about our top 5-ish books. Both those Marvel books in Thor 22 and Venom 5, so good. So good. I think they both have the ability to change the game because that's a lot of symbiotes, and that's a lot of people fighting something we didn't know was hiding inside a hammer until Thor 20. So you should check them both out. Coming in at number 5 from Behemoth Comics is Quad number 1. It's all done by Eduardo Schall. So what you have here, and I like a good cardstock book and then a color cover, and then I open it and then it's like, oh, all that's black and white. So this is the book that I talked about in my pull list video, where it was like, oh, this is based around a solar flare, and you want to talk about post-apocalyptic scenarios that I am deathly afraid of, solar flares reach the top of that list. So what you find out is that a solar flare has destroyed a large part of our industrial infrastructure, and you have a large number of mechanics who are in need to fix what are relatively simple machines that may not have been active or connected to the grid at that point. And that's where we meet our primary character in terms of, where's her name at? On this page? Do we ever see her name, or is it just the woman or a cat? But we have a woman who's called early in the morning and sent out to an outward province to both find parts, ironically, from her dad, and build a machine or rebuild a machine in a further, like, outward from where she's at province that we learn while that piece is obsolete, the woman that she's meeting with might be some kind of spooky kind of creature that exists after the solar flare happens, and we see that creature go like, really, and it's clear that the creature is not reacting to the repairs that the woman is doing on the machine, but the cat is a hybrid, so maybe it's part biological, part like AI or battery driven. But that shit's wild, and we get another story in terms of what's happening in the Dome City on the next issue. So, good post-apocalyptic story, good art, good, interesting way to kind of lean you into this universe if it's going to build kind of its own stable of different characters, and I'm excited. Coming in at number 4 from Aftershock Comics is Maniac of New York, The Bronx is Burning, number 3. This is a book that I screwed up. It was not on my weekly pull that I had subscribed to individual issues of this, but thank God my main man Jason at Chops Comics had an extra copy in number 3 in the new issue pile for me. Talked about this on Shop Talk a little bit, but good old Hardcore Harry, in his post-school stabby murder rampage, we're starting to figure out how people are trying to deal with him, right? The school was a bureaucratic nightmare because they had to call in to a specific service to try to end him. We know our 2 detectives who have been kicking it since the beginning of the first arc are still tracking down Hardcore Harry, and they're hearing from the mayor and the city council, and this book just continues to be bloody and wild, and they can't find ways to kill somebody who is far more enduring than Jason Voorhees in any of the Friday the 13th Camp Crystal Lake sagas. And then what really gets to me, and this is normally further into a book than what I go to in my top 5-ish rankings, but Hardcore Harry shows up at basically Yankees Stadium, and we see the singing of the national anthem, and Hardcore Harry getting to do some full-on murderous shit. This book, really good. I've enjoyed the first arc up to now. I'm a huge fan of Andrea Moody, who is the artist of this. He's also done things like Bunny Mask recently, or where I was introduced to him on Vlad Dracul from Scout Comics, which was adapted from a book that he did the illustrations on with an Italian author. Very good, very spooky, very bloody. Check it out. Coming in at number 3 from AWA Upshot is Crimson Cage number 3. It's by John Lees, Alex Cormack, and Ashley Cormack. We all knew this was going to show up on the top 5. It's, like Southern Territory wrestling before there was a big, like, evil corporate overlord like the WWE or WCW or even ECW, where the focus is on someone who is wanting to be this unified world champion who of course made a promise to 3 women in some kind of body of water, and in this swampy interpretation, it is the Sisters of the Bayou. So we're seeing the new #1 world challenger kind of rise to challenge things before in this panel we get the pay-per-view showdown between Chuck Frenzy, the current champion, and the Abominable Grud. What I like about this is, if you've never watched any kind of video that breaks down the like ring talk and those kinds of things, like to watch how a very good, high quality professional wrestling match like just looks flawless, or you can like watch videos where you're like, you hear this call made audibly, or you see something that's blown. You get a lot of that in-ring talk in this match between the two folks that kind of play its way throughout. But the interesting thing is that I think the challenger knows that something is up in terms of what is going on with the deal of the women of the swamp, and a lot of other creepy and spooky things continue to play their way out as I flip through this, and you see ads for, you know, other books in addition to, holy shit, we get like a battle royale, and that's all you get. I've loved this book from go. I'm not even going to put it up there because I showed you off more than I want to, but wrestling fans, Shakespeare fans, good story fans, spooky horror fans, you will love this book. If you're not picking it up, go find the first 3, and if not, buy an AWA trade because they are only $9.99. I'm definitely going to pick up the trade on this one. So good. So good. Alright. Coming in at number 2 from Image Comics is Silver Coin number 9. I've loved this book. We've loved this book on Thursday nights on Shop Talk. Michael Walsh, the artist, is the mastermind behind the greater universe. This particular book is written by Vita Ayala, who I profess my love to several times online, but also in last week's pull list video, that I think they are one of the most intriguing writers of our time. So here, in this issue, we get a crooked cop who is basically set up to be like an arsonist to clear out some territory, but you also find out that he may maybe work with a gang. But in the first act of arson we see in this book, he is labeled as a hero cop for dragging a young girl out, and I flip past it, but what becomes intriguing in terms of looking at this melted Barbie doll face is what matches kind of the dude with the literal drip that we see on the cover. But he's bolstering up this notion of him being a hero while building up his rep. But the coin, right, you see from what, Mra to Mra, this notion of the coin waking up, and he's like, I'm a fucking god. And the gangsters around him like, nah, dude, we're done helping you. Of course, homeboy literally sets on fire. Real good. I think one more, and then we get the series, or the arc end. I think it ended at 5. I don't remember. You all know I'm bad at these things. But regardless, this book is badass. Check it out. And our pick of the week, I don't know the last time I've had a book or a series double up in terms of being the pick of the week in back-to-back months when it came out, but to find out what makes the pick of the week, tomorrow you will have to check out the Mix Collectors YouTube channel to find out what my pick of the week is, but it's good. Love it so much. And you should check it out, and you should sub up the Mix Collectors channel, because with next week's pick of the week, I'll come up with some kind of BS giveaway. Don't forget, to check me out on Tuesday, aka tomorrow, because I'm filming this Sunday night, where you could see the weekly pull video. You can get your entry to the poser pile in terms of being able to win some new or recent books, depending on how many extras I can pick up from the LCS. You can see what the book is that I'm talking about on Mixed Collectors if you know what the back cover is. The last thing I want to shout out is Bruce and Stephanie Comics are on their road to 2,000. You can do a couple of things to enter their giveaway. Number one, make a video where you make fun of Stephanie. I don't know how my camera works, so that's why I've got to be like... Number two, make a Bruce and Stephanie meme, make fun of Stephanie. And then also, relatively soon, maybe even as early as tomorrow, Bruce and Stephanie Comics are live on Tuesday nights in a slightly different format from Comics and Beer, where you get Bruce and Stephanie, but you also get my good buddy Cole from Comic Burrito and Cole's Comic Claims, and the one and only Steve Hayner. So check them out. Let me know what you think about my picks in the comments down below. As always, y'all, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.
Hey, little girl, did you want to know a secret?
I got 5 on it. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.